Hi guys! So today I'm going to actually share some names we're really considering for baby Alien. Alien is the nickname. I've had like 3 or 4 people now on the last YouTube video think that we're actually naming the baby Alien. No. That's the in-uterus nickname. Oh, I have a package. I gotta go get that. Don't you just love it when you get a package and it comes with free food? I was hungry. This is perfect. Yum. Alright, back to the names. We are not naming the baby Alien. That is the in utero nickname. Leia had a nickname too, because, well, I basically knew that she was a girl, but like other people, we didn't want to announce it until she was born. Well, this time we have like no idea, and the baby looked like an alien, we thought, in the first ultrasound. I've got about 10 names for both boys and girls. Like, these are names that I've gone over with hubby and he's like basically in agreement on. So without further ado, let's get started on the names. I've got 10 boys names and 10 girls names. They're all in a random order. None are from like favorite to least favorite. We have absolutely no idea what this baby's name's gonna be. We're just gonna have to wait and see what it looks like and what it feels like. I mean, I do have a couple, but I'm probably not going to share them just because I don't want to like say, oh, we think it's gonna be this, and then it turns out to be something else, and then everybody's like, oh, but I liked the other name better. The first name I have on my list is Dominic, and first of all, like, I love it because I love how Leia says it. She just says it so freaking cute. I'm gonna have to put it in the vlog somewhere. But I really like this name. It's one of the more traditional names that we have on the list. And it is a Latin Roman name, meaning lordly. It's got a more traditional meaning, like a lot of the names we have are like more naturey. So I really, really like this name. I think I could definitely see us possibly having a Dominic in the family. I like the idea of the baby having a D name. This time we have a few D names on the list, although there is a lot of other letters, first name letters on the list as well. But I really, really like it. We'll just have to see if it turns out to be a Dominic. I happened to have a crush on a Dominic when I was in middle school, and he was really sweet and he was really, like, really good looking, and he had like this baby face. I don't know, I could see a Dominic working, but hubby's not the biggest fan of this name, to be honest, but he said if it looks like a Dominic, then okay. Next is another D name, and that is Darien, and this is a Greek name meaning gift, and it kind of rhymes with alien, which is kind of cool. It's another D name. I like it also because it's got like that Sailor Moon reference. I don't know about you guys, but I was like the Sailor Moon generation, and Darien was like the mysterious, like, love of Sailor Moon, I guess you can say, lover of Sailor Moon. Probably a lot of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Next is a name that I actually talked to you guys about on Insta stories the other day. It is Valerian, and hubby's the one who mentioned this to me. He mentioned it because there was a character in a movie who had that name. I also know there's a movie called Valerian. It's like a science fiction movie. Some people were saying there's something in some TV show, Game of Thrones, I think. I don't know, I've never seen that show, but they're like, there's the Valerians, I don't know. So there's a lot of references for this name. I think it's a really cool name. It's a little bit different, like I have to get used to it because I've never heard it before. This is like one of the only names that hubby has like actually mentioned, like throughout this whole pregnancy. Like seriously, it's always me bringing up names. There's been maybe a couple more, but this is like the only one that I was kind of like, oh yeah, I like that one. I just don't really know for sure. If it looks like a Valerian, then sure, why not? Next up is Owen, and this was actually a name we had considered when we were pregnant with Leia, as a sibling name for Olivia, but now we don't just have the O thing going on, we've got an O and an L going on this time, so there's not that much pressure to keep a O theme going anymore. But I do like the name Owen still. Next up is a name that I think a lot of you guys probably haven't heard, and that is Elden. I found this on a forum when I was pregnant with Leia also, and it was on like this fairy name forum. It's like magical creature names or something like that, and it means noble friend, but it can also mean like Valley of the Elves or something like that. I think it sounds really, really cool and really, really naturey. It sounds like a tree name. Like I feel like it should be a tree, but I didn't find anything on an Elden tree. There's Elder, maybe that's where I'm getting it, but I think it's a pretty cool name. Hubby's not that sure about it though. Next up is a name that's actually more for girls, apparently, to those of you guys in the States, but I heard a little boy named Harlow the other day. Here in Germany, Harlow seems to be quite a boy name compared to, well, I asked you guys on Instagram, all the Germans were like, oh, that's a boy's name. All the Americans were like, oh, that's a girl's name. It means meadow. For me personally, I like it for a boy. If I were going to name my child something that means meadow, I would probably just go with meadow, you know, but like if it was a girl, but for a boy, I don't really think meadow works. But I think it's a nice name. I don't know for sure that I would like people in the States like really thinking it's a girl's name. But next is another nature name, and this is a lot more likely to be a middle name, just so you guys know, but it is River. I have loved the idea of the name River for a long time, but I have a feeling especially hubby's family wouldn't like it. Next up is a Celtic name, and it's also a Harry Potter name, and it is Cedric. Now, I have noticed a theme here when it comes to boy names. I like names where good-looking people are associated with them, where good-looking guys are associated with it. So Robert Pattinson's a pretty good-looking guy. Had a really big thing for Edward, but I know too many Edwards. I do like the name Edward, but it's not on the list. Hubby doesn't like it. But I love Cedric. It's a Celtic name and it means bounty, I believe. Yes, bounty. Next up is Leland, and this also means meadowland, but it is a masculine name. Hubby thinks it's a little bit weird, and also whenever you put a land at the end of anything in Germany, it kind of sounds like you're saying a country in a way, so I'm not sure that it would work. And then lastly, I have two kind of together, and that's Emerson and Emery, and these are like English names, and I believe Emerson means son of Emery, so they kind of go hand in hand. All right, on to the girls' names. The first name I have on my list is Flora, and this was a name we had on our list when we were pregnant with Leia. It's a nature name. It means goddess of flowers, and I think that it's really pretty. Next is Elodie, and if you followed me on the video, the last baby name video I made, which was what was it called, names we love but won't be using, I had Melody on the list. So this kind of sounds like it. I feel like it's a good compromise. It's a French name, and it actually has two meanings. In French it means like foreign bridges, but it could also be derived from the Greek meaning, which means like marsh flower, so it could actually even be a nature name. And I think this name is starting to gain popularity a little bit, but it's not too popular at the moment. I think it's a really pretty name, and it kind of reminds me of a name that we used to really like when I was pregnant with Olivia, which was Amélie, which is like French form of Emily. I do really like French names, so I really like this one. On with the French theme, back in the day when I was pregnant with Olivia, would not have considered the name Belle as a first name. Now reconsidering it, I feel like it would be a really cute name, and I feel like we could have a child that could look like that, you know what I mean? Because both of our kids have like this like Disney princess look so far. Like they've both got these big almond shaped eyes, and particularly if this one came out looking like it might be brunette or something like that, I could like totally see us using it. Not that a Belle couldn't be blonde, but I just strongly associated with the Disney princess. Next up is Darcia. This name is, I'm not sure, it's an Irish name, and it's like the original Irish form is Darcy, but Darcia I think is the French form. It sounds Spanish, but I think it's the French form. It means dark or night. I thought it was just kind of interesting and unique, and I just kind of wanted some feedback on that name also because I haven't heard it before, and I think it's kind of interesting. Next is an Italian name, and it is Aurelia, and that means the golden one. I remember once when we were traveling in Italy, there's like a city called Aurelia, and I was like, that would be a really pretty name, and turns out it is a name. So the only problem I have with it is I feel like it would be just such a mouthful, because it does go with Olivia and Leia, but it goes so much with Olivia and Leia. It's like Olivia, Leia, Aurelia. It's like you're gonna get a huge tongue twister every time you're calling your kids to come home from the park. The last two D names I've combined into each other is Darla and Darlene. Now hubby's not a huge fan of the name of either of the names. It means like the darling one or something like that, which I think is really cute. I really liked the name. I think a lot of people associate Darla with the Little Rascals movie. I think it's really, really pretty and cute. Like, I feel like we could have a Darla too. Like, I could see our kids suiting the name, so we'll just have to see. Next up is another Italian name, and that name is Chiara, and there's a couple of different like ways to spell it. We've decided to go with the common Italian way, especially since we're not far from Italy, so it's not like the name will be super unknown here, because there's like, I thought it was spelled Ciara. That's how I thought it was, but that's like an Irish name, and it has a completely different meaning and a completely different pronunciation, which is like Chiara. But the Italian way is with a H, so Chiara. Confusing. But I wouldn't want it to be mistaken for Kira, so I would probably put the H in there. But it has a really nice meaning, and it means light, which is funny because the Irish version, Kira, means dark. Next up, I really like, but is really popular here, I've noticed, and that is Maia. As you know, I'm due in May. I feel like that would be a really appropriate name. It also means earth goddess in Greek, which I think is really nice, but this name, I hear it all the time around here. Like, I don't know what the ranking is on it in Germany, but it seems to be pretty high because I hear it almost on a daily basis. Lastly, I have Rosie and Rosalie. These are just names that I've always liked for a long time, but I have a hard time picturing any of our kids looking like a Rosie or a Rosalie. So still on the list though. So that is all of the baby names that we are actually considering. Maybe the baby will have one of these names, maybe it won't. We'll just have to wait and see. We've got lots of baby name books we can still go through when the baby's born. I don't know how long it's going to take us to name this child. I hope not long. It only took a day to name Leia, but I have heard of people who have taken a really long time to name their kids, and it's definitely a big deal, and I really enjoyed the process of naming Leia after she was born compared to, I mean, I really think that Olivia suits her like 110%. Like, she's just got that spunky, outgoing, outstanding O letter with the live in there. It's just like, she's very, very vibrant little character. She like suits the very popular name. I believe it's like one of the most popular names in the entire world. Luckily, she lives in a place where it's not super popular. It's not even I think it's like number 99, so that's not too bad. But with Leia, it was really nice to name her after kind of getting to know her a little bit, like outside of the womb too. So alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite names were in the comments. Give me some feedback on the names that you thought were usable, or like, I'd really like to know what a lot of people think of Darcia because it's a little bit new for me anyways. So alright you guys, bye!